Breaking tonight, a lot happening during this show. Just announced, the president-elect has selected Pam Bondi as the next Attorney General of the United States. I'll read from this announcement from the president-elect. I'm proud to announce former Attorney General of the great state of Florida, Pam Bondi, as our next Attorney General of the United States. Pam was a prosecutor for nearly 20 years, where she was very tough on violent criminals and made the streets safe for Florida families. Then, as Florida's first female Attorney General, she worked to stop the trafficking of deadly drugs and reduce the tragedy of fentanyl overdoses deaths, which have destroyed many families in our country. She did such an incredible job that I asked her to serve as our Opioid and Drug Abuse Commission. During my first term, we saved many lives. Again, he goes on to say she's smart and tough and is America First fighter who will do a terrific job as Attorney General. Again, Pam Bondi from Florida, the next nominee for President-elect Trump, who obviously saw today that Matt Gaetz pulled his name from nomination as the votes were not there on Capitol Hill.
Is this just a confirmation that would essentially sail through, Scott, or not?
Well, I don't think you could consider anybody, just they're going to sail without any kind of real process. She's going to have to go through a process like everybody else. But I can tell you this is a massive upgrade. I've talked to a couple people up on the Hill already. There's a sigh of relief that now we have somebody here, two-term AG, strong record on drug enforcement and opioid issues, a total hawk on immigration, politically supportive of Trump, obviously. I don't know a Republican in the country who doesn't love Pam Bondi. So you were starting with Gaetz, a nominee who was underwater significantly to start and was going to always be hard to get to the surface. With Bondi, I do think you're starting above water, and as long as she performs in her hearings, and look, this is somebody who's been through 2 elections in a really big state, and so a lot of public vetting of her has gone on already. So I think this is a great move by Trump to be pragmatic and tell Gaetz to get out, and a really good move to go with Bondi. This is not a shaky limb. This is a sturdy branch he's going with for AG here.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Clevy, and it is nice to meet you. Let's dive right into this one.
Well, I was a prosecutor. I was a homicide prosecutor for 18 years. I was Florida's first female Attorney General, and I was special advisor to Donald Trump, Office of White House Counsel, but most importantly, I'm his friend. And I was in that White House, and we all know he surrounded himself with a lot of brilliant women. How many women here tonight support Donald Trump? And backstage, look at these beautiful women sitting behind me. Sorry, guys, in the front row. Donald Trump, that was the greatest gift Mark Cuban could give Donald Trump, I think, by saying something so ignorant and stupid. So I have a message for Mark Cuban. From all of us here tonight, underestimate us. This is going to be fun.
These criminals made one very big mistake. They wound up in Polk County. And I'll tell you, it's bad enough in one thing to profit from poisoning others, but it's another when you bring drugs from Mexico into our country, California, Texas, Georgia, and end up in our state and do it with impunity. Because when you're in this country illegally, and you're doing things illegally, I want to tell you, and you wind up in Polk County, Grady Judd is going to find you, the DEA is going to help them, and my statewide prosecutors are going to lock you up for as long as we can.
And we're going to enjoy it.
And each of these defendants are looking at 30 years in Florida State Prison for conspiracy to traffic drugs.
Chief Justice, Senators. Senators, you heard our answer regarding that yesterday, but it is very interesting that he said he never spoke to his son about overseas dealings. His son said different things. Joe Biden was the point man for Ukraine, investigating, at the time, Ukrainians were a corrupt company, Burisma, and Zlochevsky, its owner, an oligarch who by all media accounts we've discussed was extremely corrupt. Hunter Biden is paid $83,000 a month to sit on that board with no experience in energy, no experience in the Ukraine, doesn't speak the language, and we clearly know that he had a very fancy job description, and he did none of those things. He attended 1 or 2 board meetings, one in Monaco, and then he went on a fishing trip with Joe Biden's family in Norway. The entire time, Joe Biden knows Hunter Biden stays on that board for 3 years. 3 years. Then we hear the video of Joe Biden bragging about firing the prosecutor, linking it to aid. Then we have the 6-minute phone call.
Managerial work that anyone would do at any leadership level at DOJ, let alone the top post of Attorney General of the United States. The contrast to Ms. Bondi is she does have that kind of experience, much more traditional than what you would see in a top DOJ post, because she was the top law enforcement official in the state of Florida, and she has over 15 years experience in that role and other roles as a prosecutor. If you remember Kamala Harris running for president and talking about being a prosecutor at the state level, this is that kind of job. And so in that experience, it is much more of a traditional role, something that the Senate Judiciary Committee and others who vet these kind of nominees would see as a positive, as experience.
All right, I completely agree. And quite frankly, my thought is that after Gates dropped out, it would be essentially somebody from Trump's legal team. It would be like a Jay Sekulow or somebody like that. I assume that's where he would get these people from. Unlike William Barr, even going back to when we were all kids and like Janet Reno, right? Occasionally attorney generals try to behave like they are not the personal lawyer of the president of the United States. That is completely out the window. Pam Bondi is exactly what I was saying in the last segment that we should all fear, because she's competent. We may not agree with her ideologically, but she actually knows how to do this job. So if anyone on the Democratic side or anyone who cared about liberty or justice was thinking, well, maybe Matt Gaetz will screw this up and that'll give us some time. No, Pam Bondi knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing about immigration. Remember, Florida is one of those states that's been very aggressive about migrants and deportation and moving people to different states and everything else like that. Florida has enacted all sorts of rules and laws to curtail students and what they can do on campuses and finding legal justifications for manipulating education money. She is a dangerous and effective pick, and that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
Yeah, and I want to discuss that with a little more depth with both of you, including her record on civil rights, LGBTQ rights, and other issues that are front and center at the DOJ, and which we know were also big campaign issues this cycle. So
will come out. But again, I just think the fact that the Gaetz nomination was literally a shot across the bow, so unorthodox, everything looks kind of normal after that. I mean, that's sort of the danger of a nomination like that. It really does have a normalization effect. In other years, in other administrations, someone like Pam Bondi would have raised a lot of eyebrows, would have raised a lot of questions on Capitol Hill and at the Senate. Now, hard to say, given how completely unorthodox and what the alternative might have been. And, you know, with the prospect of recess appointments being looming out here, like something the president might call on the Senate to do, to absolutely abdicate its advice and consent role, I think that's a real fear that she looks plausible. And if we don't go along with it, we might have our entire role completely stripped from us at the behest of the president. And so, again, I think these are not normal times. This is not a normal situation.
Ooh, that was a lot. Where do we even start from? Okay, but let me first say this. Whatever MSNBC hates, me, Clevy, I love. Honestly, feels so good. And, you know, it feels like Trump is always 10 steps ahead. Yo, what do you guys think about that move? It feels at this point that Trump is always 10 steps ahead. And let me just say this, that Pam Bondi is a beast. At this point, I feel like even Matt, maybe I am just saying, but I just feel like maybe Matt was just used, you know, as a distraction, you know, to point out the rhinos, and when it was time. Not Trump's team playing chess, but you guys, I honestly love this move. But Pam is an excellent pick. She's damn good, tough, smart, doesn't mess around. I've been a fan for a long time, so this is a smart move from, you know, President Trump. Like, this is just so good. MSNBC host freaking out. I love it. Whenever Democrats are panicking, I don't know, but I'm so happy because you just in 2 weeks, you guys, in 2 weeks, Trump has been able to disrupt the deep state. Like, this man has thought of every single thing. And now this is just me. For those who watch The View, this is just me thinking out loud, okay? Will Pam also be accused of sexual assault? Because when they brought out, Matt, we had that, Sonny's whatever that happened. So I'm now asking myself, will Pam soon be accused of sexual assault? Phew. We're scared because she's incompetent. Really? Really? Nah. Trump is still playing Grandmaster level 4D chess because this move, who saw this coming? Who saw this coming? Uh-uh. Trump just figured out how to expose the Rhino deep state in 2 weeks, man. In 2 weeks. And it's not done. It's not done. Joy Reid, get ready. You might probably accuse Pam of rape because the accusations. When I was watching the would I call it apology video from Sonny, I was laughing because I'm like, I was laughing. Yeah. Why I really love what is happening. And I feel like Trump really had enough time to plan. He had enough time to plan. And you could tell from all of his selections, just like the other day when we're checking Lara Trump, when she had that interview, and she said this. You see all of those people, and when you see all of this list, you see that there are people who have literally been through fire. They can take the hits. They've been through fire. All of these people are really, really, really disruptors. Like, they've been through fire. So trust them. Throw anything back at them, they can take the hits because God knows we need a lot of changing. We need a lot of changing. I mean, we voted for this change, right? So I actually love what is happening. You guys, let me know your own thoughts in the comment section. I could go on and on because I'm just so happy. I love it. Oh my god. And Pam, what's your skincare routine? Because this woman is nearly 60. Well, yeah, she looks like she's in her late 30s. Come share your skincare routine because your girl needs it. But I love this. I love this. And let me just say this, that she will be great as AG, honestly. But you guys, Rubio's seat is still empty. Who's gonna fill it up? Um Lara was asked the other time, would she fill it up? And she was like, if it ever gets presented, of course she will jump right in. Well, who do you think? Who do you think should fill up Review seat? And another thing too, I also wanted to point out, I am still waiting for more things because I still have people I want to see on that list. I still have, I still have Tim Scott. I still have Brian Donalds. I mean, I still have Dr. Carson. These are the people that I want filling up positions too. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed there's something coming in for them because they're great disruptors too. But anyways, you guys, I really did enjoy this video. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions, and please be respectful in the comment section. Not everyone would agree with your opinion, and it is fine. All right, you have a great day. Bye.